Hey guys, I'm making this update now. I haven't updated it in a while, and I should have. So for the last week or so, a little over that, there have been some provocations that were all meant to lead up to the massive provocation, or the massive event. That's what I'm going to call it. That happened today, and I'll get to that. Um, so over the last week, 2 weeks, maybe, I'll pass people, and they'll do the nose rub, or they'll rub their stomach. Okay, they'll rub their stomach in a circle, or they'll rub their nose. And maybe like 5 or 6 days ago, there's this white guy, and he did that. He rubbed his stomach, he rubbed his nose. He did both. And I said, hey, who are you working for? Come on, because this was after so many people. They'll pass me by and they'll make the same gesture. He told me to fuck off. And I said, hey, he called me some names, and I said, you know what, though, I'm not the one who's in a massive group, who's gathered in a massive group against a lone target who can't fight back, right? I'm not the one who's gathering in a group to step on an ant, And he said, well, you know what are you going to do about it? He pretty much admitted what they were doing. He said, what are you going to do about it? He may as well have just said, yeah, that's right. Anyway, I crossed the street over, and I tried to cross the street. He followed me, he crossed, and we got into a shouting match, but at the same time, he seemed kind of like he didn't want to be doing it. He was kind of, I don't know. I got the feeling that he didn't have a choice. But yeah, he pretty much admitted it. When I said, get the fuck away from me, because I will do what I have to do to get you out the fuck out of my life. He just, after he said, well, what are you going to do about it? He just kind of, I don't know. Anyway, so that incident, it happened again twice. Once I was downtown and a woman passed me. She rubbed her stomach in a circular pattern. And again, I said, who are you working for? I didn't say it in a mean way. I said, who are you working for? And she turned around, and this time I could be set up as a Ken or a Karen, right? Because this time it wasn't, a white man who was doing it. She was Asian. So, she turned around, she called me a psycho, and then she started screaming as if I had done something to her. And people started staring. And because I was wearing, my not really combat boots, but kind of hiking boots and greenish pants, and I had a bandana. I kind of looked badass, not bad, but badass maybe. So I could have been perceived as a Trumpian anti-masker, anti-vaxxer, Ken Karen type. I don't know, but yeah, when you have someone looking the way I do and someone looking the way she does, and she starts screaming, who's going to be blamed. But I was appalled, because I hate projection. When you're in a massive group and you're helping to hunt, stalk, and terrorize other people, you're the psychopath. Especially when there's physical assault going on, there's vandalism that can lead to serious injury, which we'll get to which could have happened today. That serious injury could have happened today. There's sexual assault, and these women are helping that happen. Targets of gang stalking, they have people follow them around, right? They have people holding up a camera to them and watching them and letting them know that they're being followed around. Some of them have actually been sexually assaulted. People are coming into our homes and they're leaving a window open to show us that we have no safe place to go. They're making certain gestures so that we know that they're always there. It's sick. It's perverse. And, that sometimes does, a lot of targets are sexually assaulted as well. The men and the women, the men too, but a lot of the women are, and other women, the perpetrators, they help that happen. They help that happen. They're as bad as the men. They're part of that kind of assault. At some point, someone who's been put through the ringer like this, you make that final gesture and they're going to snap. And that's what the SICK program is meant for. It's meant to just drive people to snap. Their homes are being invaded, their lives are being invaded, their bodies are being invaded. They've got people walking around making these gestures. They don't know why, they don't know who's doing it. It's sickening, it's perverse. Okay, this bitch was the psychopath. And then yesterday it happened again. Woman walked by, she rubbed her stomach, she rubbed her nose, and again I said, who are you working for? And that got her going. They don't like hearing two things. One, who are you working for? And two, they don't like it explained that the psychopaths they're working for sent them on a kamikaze mission. Because we know that the psychopaths who hire these idiots want the target to snap and kill. And that's why I tell targets, control yourself. Don't give these animals what they want. Okay, they want you to finally snap and they want you to kill. Don't. But anyway, so yeah, and I said, who are you working for? And she's with a guy, and the guy doesn't say anything, and the woman just, she starts shouting at me from behind. Okay, here we go again today. I figured, all right, I need some kind of job. I need an income, my own income, because you know I'm a caretaker for my mom, and I have to be here. I have to come back a few times a day to give her medication and to make sure she eats. It's not that she can't, it's just that she won't if I don't make her. Take her meds, eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat dinner. So I have to, and she takes the medication 3 times a day. So I have to, first of all, a job where I can come back 3 times a day, and most jobs don't allow that. Second of all, my only, I have corporate experience from when I was in my early 20s, but my only real work experience for the last, decade or so, longer than that, has been domestic care, and that doesn't qualify as experience. I don't have professional experience now, so getting a real job is going to be difficult. So I figured, all right, I'm gonna deliver for some kind of rideshare company. Obviously, I don't have a car. I figured I may as well get a bike and just do deliveries instead of getting a really cheap ass junker car and watching what little life savings I have wasted on some piece of junk car that's going to break down in a few days that I probably wouldn't even be able to use for rideshare anyway because it would be too old. So I got a bike. I signed up for delivery, and I was accepted. I was approved. I reversed the order. I was approved to do deliveries on a bicycle for a rideshare company. So today I went out and I had been looking for a cheap bike, and a lot of places they're completely out of bikes. They didn't have them. So I tried one more place today, and I found the cheapest one I could find. But I figured, the perpetrators are probably going to destroy it. So I'm going to get a cheap one. I went to Target, and I got the cheapest bike I could find that was not a children's bike. And I checked it at the store. It was in good condition. There's nothing wrong with it, right? I rode it home, and it was fine. Okay, I rode it home. It was maybe 2-3 miles, and it was fine. Nothing happened. Then I figured, okay, I'm not gonna do rideshare today. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna test the Google navigation to see how well it works, and I just want to test it out. So I dropped a few things off at home, and then I went out with a bike again, and I bought a bike lock. So I rode around with it and tested Google Navigate, whatever, Google Maps, and I went into one store, and when I went in, I left my bike at the bike rack. I locked it up. I'm thinking, okay, fine, they're not going to steal it because I have a lock on it. I figured at some point someone is going to damage it, and I just didn't assume it would happen this quickly. I went out back to get my bike, unlocked it, tried to ride it, and almost crashed because the handlebar fell off. It was loose, and it didn't fall off completely, but it slid out. I'm not sure what they did, how they did it. I'm hoping maybe it's just something that needs to be screwed back in. I don't know. But yeah, it's barely rideable in this condition. I did manage to ride it home very carefully. But the handlebar was perfectly fine up until that point. But literally the 5 minutes I had my eyes off the bike and it was outside, they fucked with it. And this was dangerous. I could have gotten into an accident. I have to be able to work. Do I just do the deliveries on foot? I mean, I'm going to try to fix the damn bike. Luckily, it was cheap enough, and this is why I got a cheap one, so that when they damage it, it's not like I'm going to be out a lot. This was not even $150 with tax. So, yeah, that's what's happening. Oh, but I left something out. Okay, the nose rub. So as I was waiting in the store, a big fat guy with sandy blonde hair came in, and on his name, he was wearing a name tag, and on his name tag was the same name of the guy who this all seemed to start with a little over a decade ago, who doxed me, who caused me a lot of trouble, his name. And of course, this guy did the nose rub. So I'm thinking, all right, here's another provocation. Fine, I'm ignoring it. Then I left the store, and that's when I went out to get my bike and noticed that the handlebar was, there was something wrong with the handles. So, okay. I'm trying to ride it home, and I'm kind of swerving in and out because I'm trying to keep the handlebar from falling off. And by an alley, a car comes out, and in that same car is that same guy wearing the same name tag. I didn't see the name tag, but I saw that his jumpsuit with the tag on it. But I didn't look at the name again. But it was the same guy, and again he rubs his nose in that same place, the exact same way, just to let me know, yeah, that was us. We did that. These pieces of worthless fucking garbage sewage dumps, they shouldn't even exist. They spend all this time, this energy, this money, this manpower, hunting random lone people who they don't believe can ever fight back because they have us outnumbered, outgeared, out-resourced. People who were never their enemies before, but will sure as hell become their enemies. But even when we start threatening back, they don't think we can do anything. These are pathetic, worthless pieces of filthy sewage. Look at the worthless jobs they have. They gather in a group to step on an ant. You can't be more worthless than that. And they're deluded enough into believing there's honor in that. And here you have people like me, I'm trying to get an honest job, and they're doing everything they can to sabotage that. Why? Because I'm an easy target. And because this caters to their primal instinct to gather in a pack and attack in a pack. This is a coward's war. They get all the thrill of the hunt without any risk to themselves because they're going after an easy target. Pathetic, worthless, useless cowards. The one thing they won't do is stand against the real threat. They're too cowardly for that. So all they'll ever do is bend over for it. And guys, those of you who are targets, I know your sexuality is attacked all the time. Because what the perpetrators will do is they're going to use against you, but men and women will use against you, if you're men and women as well, whatever they know is going to get to you. And guys, for you, they'll attack your sexuality. They'll degrade your manhood. They'll call you pedos. Really, really nasty shit. But look, you're not the ones that are in a massive group gathered together against a lone target that can't fight back, or at least that you don't think can fight back. And some of you are actually brave enough to stand against this massive shitstorm. Some of you are actually brave enough to stand against the real threat. Okay? One of you, just one of you. You're braver, you're stronger. You got bigger balls than 1,000 of these worthless, useless vermin lackeys who gather in groups against easy targets because they're too cowardly to stand against the real threat. Okay, you guys who are being targeted, when they attack your manhood, just remember who the real stupid bitch is. It's not you. It's every worthless, useless one of those vermin in a group against one lone target, just to fucking destroy some random person's life. And I know women, they attack you all the time too, verbally. Everything about you, your mental status, your body, your everything, your ability to care for your family. You've got someone who's worthless, who doesn't do anything, who has no responsibilities, telling you that you're not doing a good job. You're a bad mother. You're a bad caregiver. You're a bad this. You're a bad that. Well, fuck him. He's worthless. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't take care of anyone. All he does is take these jobs that have him, these easy jobs that have him chase around and try to destroy some random nobody that he doesn't even know. Makes him feel good. But he's completely worthless. Anyway, so this big fat fuck, and you know what? I've got to pull back because I'm getting mean too. I've been a human rights activist for all my life, and I always assumed that's why this is happening to me. But I'm getting mean now. I'm just losing my tolerance. I'm losing my patience, and I don't like the way I sound. I gotta fix my fucking bike. This today is like the first time in 20-something years I've actually been on a bike. It took me a little while to just get the hang of riding again, let alone now I got to learn how to fix it. And I'm really going to have to learn how to fix it on my own now because I anticipate more damage will be done in the future. Anyway, just wanted to let y'all know what was going on. Peace.